Hello, it's Leontine from Little Lovely Crafts. I shared this card a long time ago, but I had a terrible fever around that time, so I never got round to editing the video, but today I do. I'll quickly take you through all of the steps. Whenever I use Distress Oxide inks, I tend to use the same colors over and over. This is a combination that I saw on Jessica Frost-Ballas' website and I thought that's just brilliant. So I'm going to use that today. It's Kitsch Flamingo, Peacock Feathers and last but not least Cracked Pistachio. You're going to see that I'm going back and forth between the colors pretty often to get the perfect blend, and I'm going to repeat the process on an extra panel that goes behind it. So here is one panel all finished, and now there are two. On to the next step. Most of the stamps I used come from virtual friends, and I altered one of them a little bit. As you can see, two images have a party hat and one doesn't, but I wanted to give him a party hat as well. So I got a bug deal, and there's this tiny little party hat inside. I stamped it, used masking paper to go over it, and then I stamped the bear on top. Now the first time I did that, it didn't line up perfectly, but the second time I did, so I'm going to use that bear. I'm going to color all of my images using Copic sketch markers. If you want to skip this step, you can go to about 6 minutes and 30 seconds in the video. Everything's all colored, and I forgot to mention that those confetti pieces are from birthday before and afters. If you don't have that stamp set but you do have really high five, you could use that one instead. Off camera, I die cut all of my images, and now we're moving on to heat embossing. I want to do something fun with the background, and I'm using Wow glittery embossing powder. And what I do is I stamp a few things with clear embossing ink, and then I throw some embossing powder on it and heat it. And then I move on to the next few stamps. I'm not doing all of the stamps at once because it might dry or I might change my mind about the position, so this way I've got more control about what I'm doing. Just look at all of that sparkle. We're moving on to the next bit. I'm using a scoreboard to go over those folding lines that the die created for me, and I'm doing that so that I can make a nice fold without any mistakes. And once I scored it, I like to go over it with my bone folder. These critters really need a desk to sit behind, and since I don't have a stamp that really matches behind those 3 panels, I'm going to create something myself. I got a piece of Copic friendly paper and I cut it to the length of my slimline panel. I'm going to use my T-ruler and a Copic multi-liner to create a black line, because all of my stamped images have that black line and a white border around it, and I want to create that on my desk as well. And then I can color it in with a few brown Copic markers, and I'm just going to put very loose strokes around it, and I'm starting with a darker color and then going to lighter color until I find that the blend is nice and the color is nice. And I do like to look at where those panels from my flaps are, so that it kind of matches with where my darker bits are and where my lighter pieces are. Now that I'm happy with the desk, I'm going to glue all of the images and the panels together. I'm placing my confetti around the critters, and then I'm using a jewel picker to pick up the confetti, put down a drop of glue and then attach it to the paper. I used the largest slimline die on some peacock cardstock, and I thought I would make the banner the same color as well, and I used white embossing powder to stamp Happy Birthday. And that completes the card. I hope you liked watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I would love it if you would subscribe. See you next time. Bye!